Congratulations on becoming the President of IOSH.
Congratulations on being selected as the President of IOSH.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you in everything that you do.
Hello everyone, hello everyone, hello everyone, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.
What prompted me to join in with Jimmy Quinn's informal presidential coffee mornings was that for many years I've heard differences of opinion that are quite vast about the benefit of both IOSH as an organisation and of being a member. And it immediately dispelled some of the myths that I'd heard over the time. I found it to be very welcoming, and it gave me some excellent opportunities to network with like-minded individuals.
Jimmy's persona, as soon as you get on the screen, very welcoming, informal, makes people feel at ease. I feel like the chats made me feel motivated about IOSH and the road ahead, and actually made me feel like I needed to do a bit more or wanted to contribute more as a volunteer.
So how do I know Jimmy? Jimmy and I met just over 11 years ago at the back of a classroom where I was studying. Jimmy was actually the instructor as I was transitioning from the army into my second career as an IOSH professional. Which really leads on to the next point with what has Jimmy done for veterans in his time as the IOSH President. Jimmy has been fantastic in terms of championing veterans transitioning into the IOSH profession. He's highlighted the skills, the expertise that they have that they can bring into the profession. I think he has certainly put veterans in the limelight with regards to how IOSH can tap into that network of people and that skill set.
So I've known Jimmy Quinn now for over 6 years. It started as a professional relationship through work, but very quickly evolved into something more of a personal friendship. You know, I'm just so happy that Jimmy was able to do something that he genuinely was passionate for. He loved supporting and giving back to the IOSH community, and I'm really glad with what he's achieved during his tenure as president. You know, it's been a privilege and a pleasure actually seeing Jimmy grow as an individual. Not so much just throughout his presidency with IOSH, but probably also predating that. IOSH just gave him a brilliant platform to be able to leverage off and really show how he can care for other people. He's been able to influence people at many occasions. So, you know, I think that he's a much stronger individual personally, and it's probably going to be a moment in his life that he's going to remember for a long, long time. So good on you, Jimmy. Very proud of you as an individual, and, you know, well done. Well done.
Hello everyone, I hope you are all safe, well and continue to be kind. And wow, thank you Matt, Dave, Michelle and Steve for your kind words. It's a lot to take in, I might say pretty humbling to hear how much we've all achieved over the past year. Before I even officially became president, I knew what I wanted to achieve, and this very quickly started to take shape as soon as I came into office and had the full support of everyone at IOSH. There were two areas I particularly wanted to focus on. One was membership, and two was veterans and armed forces. I'm extremely proud of all the work that has been achieved in these two areas, but it hasn't all been down to me, of course. Far from it. We are one IOSH. After all, what we've achieved together. So thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you. Now that I've officially handed over the presidency to Louise, I am now your immediate past president. And again, I'm proud to be so. At the AGM, I reflected on my year as president, a year that I could never have imagined or dreamed of. I feel humble and proud to have had the opportunity to serve the institution in this all-embracing way. When I took over from Andrew in 2020, None of us imagined at that time that we would still be living through this pandemic. I was very much looking forward to getting out and meeting members, volunteers, staff, partners and stakeholders. All of you, pressing the flesh, as it were. Unfortunately, this wasn't to be. But thankfully, we are now, albeit slowly and cautiously, getting back to some form of normality. And I hope that I will get to meet some of you face to face during my term as immediate past president. I have now handed over the presidency to Louise. Louise brings with her a huge amount of experience as a safety and health professional, and I look forward to continue to work with Louise and the other members of the presidential team in the coming year.
Yes, Jimmy, and we certainly look forward to continuing to work with you. Thank you for your kind introductory words. But Jimmy, I have a few questions left for you. We can't let you go just yet. You've had an incredible year. You've achieved so much. We can all see this from the wonderful messages that you've received from members and from colleagues. So, what would you say has been your biggest highlight?
Well, I've got to be working with you, of course, working with the wider team, working with Sunita, Alan, the presidential part, working with council. Has been fantastic, learning a lot about myself, but also doing what I wanted to do and what I set out to do at the start of this presidential year, reaching out to the membership, re-engaging with the membership in this year of years, also networks, branches, re-engaging with them, visiting them, letting them know how much we want them to succeed and how much we're there for them as a presidential team, but also my two focus groups, the mental health focus group and the veterans focus group that was chaired by Matt Jackson. That was wonderful, and the way that IOSH got behind me to get this group onto LinkedIn for the armed forces and veterans. Wonderful.
And what would you say that you've learned in the last year that you would pass on to future presidents?
Be patient. It is an organisation where we are very membership centric as we are the presidential team, and we see it that way, but patience in getting things done. Also, to remember that as a president, we are at the top of our volunteering roles. We have so many other volunteers that look to us for leadership and guidance, and we must be presidential at all times. We go out there and we show what it is to lead, and also we show our council members as well what it is as a chair of council. So for me, learning lots about myself, learning lots about people, and how we function as an organisation. Understanding IOSH was absolutely key for me this year.
And finally, what do you think members will remember you for? What will be the legacy that you leave behind?
I'd like to think that members will think about me as a legacy is that I was you have this great phrase that says that you are persistently consistent, consistently persistent. I like to think that people might find me informally formal or formally informal. I don't know. I know that as a person, my character is one of my greatest strengths, and being myself and being that person that always answered the question. Anytime I was asked, anytime I was emailed, anytime I was called, I always acted on it and have always been there for the membership and the membership.
Thank you, Jimmy, for your service. You should be extremely proud of everything that you've achieved. And I've enjoyed serving alongside you.
That's very kind of you to say so, Louise. And please, let me give my final thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you. So it's now my greatest pleasure and honour to introduce you to your new president, Louise Hosking. But before Louise takes the stage, we have a few special congratulatory messages for you, Louise, as well as a few other messages from some of those that you have the pleasure of working with you in the past. Yes, this really is a This Is Your Life moment. So please, sit back and try to take it all in.
Louise, congratulations on becoming IOSH President. It's an amazing achievement. I'm so impressed with you. It's incredible to think that many years ago we were We first met in a physics class when we were 14, and little would we have known, either of us have guessed, that you would have reached such dizzying heights. So I'm just so in awe of your achievements, and I'm really, really grateful to be your friend and have been your friend for such a long time. So congratulations, Louise.
Hello, Louise. Congratulations to you in now becoming the IOSH President. Your authenticity, passion and commitment to health and safety and to the IOSH membership is unsurpassed. I honestly believe you are the right president at the right time. Good luck, be strong, and remember, be the hummingbird.
So proud to have worked with you these last 6 years now on our health and safety journey. Delighted that your industry is recognising you, your passion, your enthusiasm, your commitment, qualifications, skills, most of all your leadership. Well done.
Hi Louise, all the way from sunny Sri Lanka, and on behalf of the Workplace Safety and Health Association, I'd like to wish you all the very best in your new role. We look forward to working with you and your team in the days to come, and as always, we hope you would come back for a visit soon.
Hello everyone, and especially Louise Hosking. Having worked with you for around 10 years now in the commercial property environment, we've been on a shared journey to improving health and safety management. Thank you for the challenge, new ideas, and forever pushing forward. Enjoy your time as President of IOSH. I know you will do the role justice.
Hello Louise, and congratulations on becoming President of IOSH. We at the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health are delighted for you, and it goes without saying we're very keen to work with you taking your post forward. All the very best of luck for the next 3 years. It's a great achievement, and I'm sure it's one that you will rise to.
Hi Louise, on behalf of all of us at Hosking Associates, congratulations on becoming IOSH President. We all know how passionate you are about health and safety, and knowing how hard you work too, we're certain you're in for an incredible year. Congratulations.
Hello, lovely wife. Congratulations on becoming President of IOSH. I am a very proud husband. You have so much determination and passion to always make a positive difference to other people's lives, and I've seen how much hard work and dedication you have put into your work and the profession, and know you will do a fantastic job. Good luck. I will be with you every step of the way. Lots of love.
So how do I know Louise? Well, Louise and I met at university in Nottingham in 1988. We were on the same course studying environmental health. My first impression of Louise was that Louise lived in Louise's world. This was sometimes on a different axis to others, but on occasions our worlds did align. Louise always presented a different view on things, which is part of her unique charm. You may not always agree with her point of view, but she is never scared to voice her opinions. She is also dedicated to the health and safety cause and is determined to make a difference. She is a social butterfly. She partied hard as a student, and this has never left her. She enjoys the company of a diverse range of people and will always make them feel at ease when in their company. Louise is kind and thoughtful and a very special friend. Louise is incredibly competitive. She has an extreme level of drive and ambition and works amazingly hard. She is a successful businesswoman and goes above and beyond for her clients, but her friends too. It is an honour and a pleasure to call Louise a very special friend.
So early in Louise's career, she held a role in health and safety at the Co-op, which is a similar role to what I currently do. And Louise was part of the journey to the Co-op that we all know and love today. So she was part of Co-op Retail Services, and all this doesn't exist anymore. It still formed the basis of how we operate today. And she was involved when the risk assessments were first introduced, so she had a lot of work in terms of establishing safe systems of work and new technologies, and a lot of that forms the basis of how we keep our customers and colleagues safe today. Now, it's obviously fantastic to see women like Louise, obviously in such senior positions within the profession, but actually also leading us in the right direction, helping to inspire women, new generations and new talent into the profession, and helping to ensure that women feel supported and encouraged to succeed.
Hi, Louise and myself first met each other and worked together in the property sector way back in 2003. We were both members of a property management forum, and Louise being the appointed safety practitioner at Savills and myself at BNP Paribas Real Estate. Louise had a real understanding of landlord and property tenant safety issues, and in particular contractors and suppliers. Subsequently, Louise's career I followed. She produced a very interesting article in the SHP magazine, which is a real good opinion piece in terms of safety in the safety profession in general. And then subsequently, when Louise became vice president, two key areas for her that I really followed and really admired were around her well-being agenda and her diversity agenda. The qualities that I really found that Louise brought to developing these relationships, particularly within IOSH, is her collaboration skills, her understanding, her listening, but the way she develops those trusting relationships. I wish her every success in her presidential role going forward.
So when did I meet Louise Hosking, Hosking Associates? It was back in 2005, straight out of Savills. We were working in private practice at the time. Since then I've worked client side, and now I have my own business developing office buildings throughout the UK, which we asset management and development manage. Louise has always been part of our governance, both as an organisation internally, looking after my staff, making sure they're safe when they're on site, and also in the office, particularly after the COVID situation we've just had, but has actually helped me with specific assets, like a hospital I used to manage in Stratford-upon-Avon, where we found Legionellas. We had to identify it, deal with it, come up with remediation and look after the tenants and make sure we had a solution through communication with the tenants, but also within the statutory framework, which we did very effectively, and that was probably Louise on her balcony at that point. Is she a modern day health and safety executive? Absolutely. As we sort of tackle ESG in our industry and the real estate sector, she's at the forefront, keeping that governance at the front of my mind in terms of my board, my tenants and my clients. And so we will continue to work with Hosking Associates as we go forward on our portfolio.
Louise is at her best when she's bringing people to the table, real or virtual, local or global, and getting to the root of the issues that affect our profession. Louise is a real solution finder. Over the last 5 or 6 years, Louise has become more visible and connected, recognised across the world by our members and other key stakeholders. Louise is really ready to hit this ground running. Louise, you've set your course, you have our support. Remember, you're good enough, and to enjoy the experience.
Hello everyone. Gosh, I'm lost for words and frankly a bit choked. Watching those clips certainly allows me to reflect on my journey, remembering where I started and thinking where I am today. Without the support of colleagues, friends, family and IOSH, I would not be here in front of you now. It's a great honour and yes, a little humbling to be taking the baton from Jimmy as your president. I'm inspired and delighted by the thought of what lies in front of us all this coming year. Jimmy has had a phenomenal year, a presidential year in which members have been front and centre. It is a year we welcomed a new chair of the Board of Trustees and a new chief executive. And in partnership with others, IOSH staff, 2,000 active volunteers and over 47,000 members around the world, we've all worked harder than ever before to manage the new and emerging risks of a global pandemic. And our profession has shone. New networks have been created, new ways of working have been discovered, new collaborations have transformed our profession. IOSH continues to forge links with strategic partners and governments around the world, including the ILO, ESA and from the Commonwealth, as we build towards the launch of our next strategy in the spring of 2022. My year as President will focus on balance, values and sustainability. This will be sustainability in its broadest context. By this I mean meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. An unstoppable wave of change is surging across the global business landscape. Organisations are thinking beyond the here and now, giving sharper focus to what it means to be responsible, sustainable, resilient business, and a business built on solid financial, environmental, social and ethical principles, providing decent working standards across supply chains. We know that over this unprecedented time, those organisations who have performed will have prioritised environmental, social and governance issues. Social sustainability is unequivocally intertwined with occupational safety and health. Successful organisations focus on their people. They prioritise their well-being, their health and their safety. The greatest challenges on our planet have been created by people, but it's people who must now come together to solve these life-threatening issues. My focus will be on building bridges, enabling us all to work together to protect the most vulnerable as we consider future challenges exacerbated by climate change. My year as IOSH President will focus on how we in the IOSH profession enhance our skills beyond the technical to reach out to and positively influence each other and our stakeholders. We will talk about power skills and what good practice looks like, demonstrating the all-round value of safety and health and of everything that we and it can bring to business. Value will be based on the 5 C's of collaboration, compassion, creativity, curiosity and courage. We will look to coach rather than control. It's time to throw out those old clipboards along with other tired stereotypes, silos and labels to thrive in that more nuanced and potentially innovative grey space between the black and the white. And together we will be the change we want to see. The bridges I've mentioned will be built with our colleagues in HR, finance, marketing, research and operations. Together we can build high standards of psychological health and safety. We can build teams based on trust, establish working relationships where everyone feels safe to speak out, where all voices are heard and where diversity of thought is embraced so everyone feels included. I stand here today as the 55th IOSH President in our 76-year history, but only the 7th woman President. Along with my presidential team, I will look to support underrepresented groups to have the confidence to step into leadership positions within the IOSH volunteer network and in their professional roles where this is their ambition. The pandemic has disproportionately affected working women, and there are too many women around the world who still lack even basic civil rights. And when we raise up women, we raise all genders to be the best they can be. To my mind, diverse work groups make smarter decisions. And in health and safety, this means we save more lives. I am particularly excited to work with our partners in the Commonwealth who share this ambition to support women and girls around the world to achieve their full potential. As President, I will continue to promote mentorship and support to throw open doors for all aspiring IOSH professionals. Within IOSH, I will work hard as Chair of Council to encourage strong and effective governance through a professional, outward-looking council, keeping the board on its toes. Our branches and sector groups around the world are the heartbeat of IOSH. As we come back together, we will use our new connections and greater reach to support one another and grow even further. Together, we will inspire and support a pipeline of new professionals and future leaders with complementary skills in politics, psychology, business, technology, from the military, from academia, all of them looking for a meaningful career where they can make a personal and a collective difference. To achieve this, we need to draw on all of our talents and rich knowledge to build a forward-looking, progressive profession. We must recognise, celebrate and outwardly build on the achievements and experience of our past. Linked by a common cause, we will embrace our different perspectives and cultures, exploring new ideas to forge a profession with purpose, one that puts people first. Ray Bradbury's 1952 science fiction short story classic, A Sound of Thunder, has stayed with me since I read it at school. Set in the year 2055, when time travel has been made possible, safari groups go back millions of years to see the dinosaurs. But they're warned that even tiny alterations in the distant past can be felt in the future. But one of the time tourists steps off the path and into the forest. When they return to their time zone, things are not quite the same. As a tourist removes their boot, a butterfly is noticed lodged in the mud on the sole. The butterfly's death has affected the nature of the present to which the safari returned. This short story gave rise to the term the butterfly effect. What Bradbury is saying is that our actions, no matter how small, matter. Every person can make a difference, and the ripples felt from our personal positive actions can influence things in ways we may not see at the time. Remember, it can take just one conversation for change to build. Our personal positive and collective actions have the power to influence in ways we may not see at the time. This leads me to the theme of my presidential year: people, sustainability, and putting the heart into health and safety. As incoming and outgoing presidents of IOSH, it is in our gift to hand out a number of President's Distinguished Service Awards. These awards are given to those who have made a significant contribution to IOSH and its networks, or to improving the profession as a whole. Let me bring back Jimmy so he can present his awards.
So, my first award goes to Matt Jackson. Matt is a consummate professional, one of the hardest working volunteers I know. As chair of the UE branch, I watched as he transformed the branch and its membership in 2 years. It cannot go unnoticed the work he has done and continues to do. Now, as chair of the consultancy group, he combines this with his role on the nominations committee, as well as his busy day job. As well as this, the way he has led the Veterans Focus Group is quite simply outstanding. Year on year, Matt delivers as an IOSH volunteer, always going above and beyond. Warmest congratulations, my friend. My second award goes to Joe Price. Joe Price is the volunteer's volunteer, someone who puts themselves out there to do good. I have watched her with admiration over the last few years, seen her work from Merseyside to Cumbria to council and as consultancy vice chair to vice chair of the mental health focus group. Jo is analytical and thoughtful, wears her heart on her sleeve and has an honesty that I find humbling. As I said, she is the volunteer's volunteer. Again, another volunteer that has a very busy day job, yet still continues to deliver, and then some, as an IOSH volunteer. Warmest congratulations, Joe. And my third award goes to Paul Haxel. This award is particularly important to me. Not only has Paul been a prolific volunteer for IOSH, he has also given me valuable background support in my presidential year. Paul was involved for 6 months as an honorary member of the construction group. When the group ran aground, he became chair and formed a new group, leading it for 3 years as chair. His programmes of webinars have reconnected the group to its membership. Paul re-established IOSH's credibility with HSE Cognac and has presented at branch meetings and at the IOSH conference. Paul is a model professional and prolific volunteer. Congratulations, Paul. Now let me hand back to Louise.
Thank you, Jimmy. So my first award goes to Jonathan Leet. We have all seen how Jonathan's sector, social care, has been affected by COVID-19. Hospitals were initially moving patients into life care residences facilities with COVID-19 infection, and staff didn't know. Jonathan was there on the front line making the necessary decisions throughout the crisis, adapting to changes in guidance from the government, from CQC and from the HSE. His leadership takes others with him. His ability to navigate a constantly changing health and safety landscape, absorbing changing guidance and legislation, is truly remarkable. He has undoubtedly saved many lives and is an example for all organisational leaders. This award is also a shout out to all the other Jonathans in social care. So my second award goes to Peter Kelly. Peter is a leader in psychosocial health and safety, and he could see how individuals were being affected by this pandemic and set out to help. He started daily coffee chats for anyone to drop into and attracted a global audience. I know many health and safety professionals across the world have dropped in, met new contacts, and through these discussions a community has been created. Peter has given a great deal of himself during this time, despite feeling personally isolated at times and experiencing personal loss. He has been truly exceptional during this crisis. And last but not least, my third award goes to Stuart Crowe. Our nominations committee is a subcommittee of council. Its members are responsible for the appointments made within the governance structure, which are then recommended to council for ratification. This is an important committee, ensuring the right people are chosen to serve in the best interests of IOSH. Stuart Crowe stepped into the role of chair of this committee and has led it at its busiest time ever, all the time juggling his own work as well. Stuart is a real pro, highly organised and with a keen sense of understanding the individuals he is interviewing. Congratulations to Jonathan, Peter and Stuart. And finally, we have two very special awards to present jointly on behalf of Jimmy and myself to Andy Lowe and Nick Cornwall-Smith. In the 1990s, it became clear that there was a need to create an IOSH programme to meet international standards. With the support of colleagues, Andy Lowe lobbied a group of IOSH professionals to create the IOSH Hong Kong branch. Andy's long and dedicated career continues to be an inspiration, and his work will have saved a great many lives over this time and into the future. This is a thank you from us all, Andy, for your many years of dedicated service and unwavering support for IOSH.
And so on to Nick. Nick Cornwall-Smith is one of IOSH's longest serving members. He joined the IOSH family back in 1979. That's almost 42 years ago. Nick is retired, but still gives so much of his time, commitment and dedication to support our institution, for which we'll be eternally grateful. Nick progressed through various grades of membership after starting as a student all those years ago, then going on to become a Chartered Fellow in 2006. He has also been very active in the running of IOSH. He has served as a past president, a member of various committees, and as an influential member of our IOSH Council. Nick, you have carved a special place in the history of IOSH. And this award that I present to you today is the very least we can do to acknowledge your enormous contribution. Thank you. I'm sure you'll all join me in congratulating all our worthy President's Distinguished Service Award recipients and thanking them for their valuable contribution to IOSH and the profession.
So before we conclude this session, please let me introduce you to your new presidential team. In the coming year, I will be supported by our new President-elect, Lawrence Webb, immediate past President Jimmy Quinn, and 6 Vice Presidents. Our existing VPs, Dr. David Gold, Stuart Hughes, and Neil Catton. And our newly elected VPs, Angela Abbs, Richard Bate, and Joe Price. But the presidential team is not complete without the support and leadership from Alan Stevens, Head of Strategic Engagement at IOSH, and Sunita Patel, our presidential team coordinator. I'm sure I speak for all of us in saying how delighted we are to be able to represent IOSH and the OSH profession in these, our key roles. We have a very busy and exciting year ahead of us. As our annual member survey showed us, the OSH profession is increasingly valued by organisations across the globe. And the presidential team and I are looking forward to continuing to raise the profile of what our profession has to offer the rapidly evolving world of work. Before we conclude our 2021 presidential handover, I'd like to say a big thank you to the now departing immediate past president, Dr. Andrew Sharman, and to Vice Presidents Tim Eldridge and Kieran Delaney. Thank you. And thank you to everyone for joining us. Goodbye.